Greetings and salutations. And as you can hear, my voice has gotten better. It's getting better and better as time goes on. And I found out that it is linked to clearing my throat and all this congestion out of the chest. So if I cough and you can hear it like really congested. Yeah. Grab some minions before I go out there. And you'll hear it. It comes back a little bit. And then it goes away because it starts getting all congested again. Now, it's not causing any breathing issues or anything like that. It's just causing vocal issues. It's the weirdest thing I've had so far.
Not enough mana.
But I can't say I hate it.
I need mana.
I mean, it did give me new perspectives on things. It did help out with, figuring out how to do content without talking a lot. And figuring ways around being able to make content and such. But I wanted to continue to do content, of course. Longer form content, kind of like this. I'm trying to think about what's been happening outside of sickness. It's made a lot of waves, so to speak. It's been relatively quiet. And what I mean by relatively quiet is there's nothing really big happening. No discrepancies or anything. Well, correction. There was one that occurred in Florida. It's a tragic thing. Made some waves on Twitter. A lot of people talked about it. Apparently, a couple of people who were driving tractor trailer made an illegal U-turn across the 4-lane highway, causing a family of 3 to crash and lose their life. And now, I don't know if these people were here legally or illegally, but when you're driving a tractor trailer, you have to be responsible for everyone around you. I mean, there are times where accidents will occur and no one was at fault. Well, no driver was at fault. My father was actually in one of those types of accidents where no driver was at fault. He was in another state. Snow was flying. And the state didn't have the markings up. Pardon me. The state didn't have the proper markings up for weather permission, like the weather. They didn't have proper markings up. They didn't have anything saying slow traffic because of road repair. There was none of that up there. So the traffic was to a crawl. And snowy weather, visibility was not low, but it wasn't ideal. But there was no warning signs, no warning anything. And he comes up on an accident, or not an accident, he comes up on the traffic, and he slows down, comes to a complete halt. Truck behind him comes to a complete halt. And there's a space in between them, about a car's length, maybe 2. But the truck behind them did not know of the slow conditions. There was no notifications. And he slammed into the truck behind my father, doing probably 60, 65 miles an hour. He hit the truck going so fast that it actually peeled the truck like a banana, the trailer of the truck behind him like a banana. The third driver did not make it. My father, sitting in the truck up front, before any of the stuff came up and hit him, saw barrels, like metal drums of alcohol, flying window level past him, doing 35 miles an hour or more up the road. He knew at that moment that something had happened behind him. And pretty much at that time, all the momentum carried forward. The man in the second truck was injured, gravely injured. Survived, as far as I know. And he hit my dad's truck. And he hit my dad's truck. He hit my dad's trailer so hard that it actually bent the pin of the trailer so that it was irreparable. Caused my father to have some injuries. Caused some people in the cars up in front of my father to have injuries because he obviously couldn't stop from all the weight moving forward. No driver was at fault. None. The state he was in at the time bared the brunt of the lawsuit of the trucker that perished, the trucker who was injured, my father, the families that got injured, everybody that day. That state had to pay out because of the lawsuit. Because it was not properly marked. There was not enough hazard lights. There was not enough warning. And the attorneys basically said, "Hey, it was derelict. It was dereliction on the part of the state. So it's up to state. It's up to the state to pay the pay the bills. Actually, it was shortly after that that my father retired from trucking." He said it's not something you ever want to see. Creepy story, though. Before he had set out that week, I woke up out of a sound sleep. He was scheduled to leave the house at like 5:15 in the morning. Shortly after 3 a.m., I wake up out of a sound sleep. I said, "Don't go." He says, "What do you mean?" I said, "Just don't go. Something's going to happen. It's unavoidable. Nothing good will come of it." Nothing good came of it. And he's like, "Well, I have to." And I mean, I understand that now, looking back on it, yeah, he had to make the money. I couldn't shake the feeling until we got the phone call. Then when we got the phone call, we heard he was okay. He was injured, but okay. It was whiplash and other minor injuries. It wasn't very severe. As soon as we got the phone call, I was like, I knew it. I knew it. I've had multiple instances of stuff like that happening. You'll know something before you'll know before you know, but you don't know how or why you know. Yeah, it's crazy. I also wanted to talk more about Battlefield 6. I know it's a bit of a topic jump from where I just came from, but I wanted to talk more about games too. Now, as you know, I played Battlefield 6. I was played the beta. I have not pre-ordered it. I probably won't pre-order it. I'll probably wait. Um, but what I found appealing, and my apologies, but I want to clear it up so I can actually talk better. Um, the reason I won't be pre-ordering it is simple. I'm in a very wait and see moment. I want to see how the game turns out before doing anything rash. It's fun. It's got its moments. It's moments of, I can't even say frustration, but more like it's got its moments of like they didn't do enough. You know what I mean? It's a weird statement to say, but I'll explain here in a second. Yes, they have vehicular combat, right? And when you play on like Ridge 13, and you have one APC, one tank, one jet, and one helicopter, it makes for a weird set of circumstances. And those weird set of circumstances are that if you're on the receiving end of the equipment, the game is very tilted against you, which obviously it should be. But putting only 4 vehicles in can really dictate, pardon me, how fast or slow a game goes. I think I drank my coffee too fast. Because when you're in the game and somebody gets in, say, a tank or the APC or what have you, they'll end up pushing a point so hard that you can't really fight back because the players in the game will refuse to go the engineering role to fight against the armor. Instead of picking it up and doing anti-armor and saying, okay, let's kill this armor, let's get it out of the way, and setting it up so that you can use like whatever you want to use, LMGs or whatever for your primary weapon on the engineer, they'll sit there and they'll go, nope, I'm going to play assault or recon or medic. And then when they play medic, they never actually revive people. That's more of a gripe about the players playing the game than it is about the game mechanic. The game mechanic that I have an issue with is when they say vehicular combat, I want to see a map where when you queue up for this map, you're talking there's 4 jets on either side, 3 helicopters, 2 of which are attack helicopters, one of which is like a Chinook crude helicopter, and you drop out of it. Like 5 tanks, 4 APCs, just massive numbers. That way, as an armored character, like if you're driving a piece of equipment, you only have to worry about a few things. If you're in the jet on Ridge 13, you only have to worry about the anti-aircraft batteries, which may or may not be manned, and anybody that has a rocket launcher with a lock on. And that's it. Those are your only worries. Especially if you're really good at flying and you're really good at dogfighting, those are your only two worries at all ever. If you're in a tank, all you have to worry about is a guy with an RPG. Usually one, never more than one. But there's always engineers to repair tanks. Never enough to fire a rocket-propelled grenade and kill them. So what happens is it's the team with the most positive engineers repairing that wins. There's all these engineers that pull out their little flame wrench and they'll sit there and they'll repair a tank instead of pulling out a rocket launcher and disabling the opponent's tank. Come on now. But that's just the way it is. It's like, if you had a bigger map with more tanks on it, now your armor actually has to care about other armor. Lots of other armor. And that's the way it should be. They should be concerned about the other players getting in the armor and getting in the equipment. But they don't worry about it. So it's like when I say I want equipment on a map, I want to see like the old Battlefield days. Battlefield 1942, as minimal as its graphics were, you still had like 5 planes on an aircraft carrier in Battle for Midway. And then when you got ashore, you had like 5 planes, 2 landing craft, 3 landing craft. When you got ashore, you had, and you grabbed the first point, you had like 2 tanks and then 2 other smaller vehicles. You had like 8 pieces of equipment. And you could go over and bomb the enemy's aircraft carrier. You could actually sink their one respawn point. That would respawn, but you could sink their respawn point. Now you can't even do that. It's not like you can bomb their enemy HQ to pieces. Why not? Like, if one side of a team is pushing that hard and the other team can't seem to fight back, then just allow them to allow them to come in and blow up the HQ of the enemy team. Just like allow it to go even quicker. I don't get the reason why they don't. People are like, well, you don't want the game to be too easy. Well, no, but bring back the actual Battlefield 1942 styling of being able to do stuff like that, and it would be a hit. I don't know when they started putting in indestructible headquarters where people could safely spawn. But what that does is it promotes spawn camping. If you think about it, you're playing Conquest, you're pushed into a corner, you only have your HQ as a spawn point, and your squad as a spawn point, assuming they survive. They're just going to spawn camp you. That's it. They're going to spawn camp. How do you prevent that? Make it so that you can destroy the HQ. Now people would say, well, if you put in that many vehicles, it'll end up looking like War Thunder or World of Tanks or whatever. Look, I get it. But if you put in that much stuff, your tanks will have to sit there and actually be concerned about who's out there. They won't be able to just ride up into a point without contestation. And yes, it also has a chance to go lopsided with the tanks if tanks on one side get blown up. I get it. But that's the thing. If you have communication on your team, you could say concentrate your fire on the enemy tanks. And then all the tanks look, boom. Or better yet, put a C-130 with a 50 caliber machine gun and a crew of like 4, and then just have them side gunning out of the side, and then and have a pilot piloting it. That way, you have to worry about the jets coming in and shooting down this big C-130. Like go above and beyond. It's like EA, you've got the time to build a big map and put in assets and really do a good job of it. Don't skimp on it now. But like I was saying before, it's a dead heat between the two. You have Call of Duty, which a lot of people don't like. I get it. The pros of Call of Duty are that the look and feel of the gunplay and everything is very sharp. It's very crisp. The controls do feel great. The game modes kind of feel pretty good as well. And of course, the customization on the weapons themselves, I would say, is a pro in Call of Duty. Cons come in when you have like the cartoon skins, but again, those are not mandatory, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter as much. Another con is there's not enough big maps in Call of Duty. And of course, there's a third con, which is it can be a little too fast paced.
What a pity. I was beginning to enjoy the darkness. Greetings.
It is an honor to
Sorry about that. Giving my voice a little bit of a break. I have something on the inside of my teeth. But all they have to do, really, to make Call of Duty good, really good, is slow the game pace down a little bit. You know, not, and I don't mean like it's too fast for me to keep up and I'm old. No, more along the lines of the time to kill. So the time between you start pulling the trigger and the opponent dying is just too short. Battlefield has that as a con too. Their time to kill is way too short. Like you'll round the corner and you'll take, 3-4 rounds, you're dead. You also have the inconsistency of the shotgun, the damage range, and the damage range is inconsistent on the shotgun. How do I know this? Well, I used the shotgun a little bit in Battlefield. And I was also subject to the shotgun in Battlefield. And let me tell you, when you can aim down sight and fire and get 24 to 30 meters and you can get a lethal amount of damage in 24 to 30 meters. Okay, even if that's logistically a shotgun's actual kill range. All right, fine, whatever, I'll give it to you. However, it's the level of lethality at that range that I have the problem with. Because I hip fire, I catch a guy point blank in the torso, and he survives. So this man takes a full shotgun blast to the torso and walks away like, nope, didn't feel it. Try again, brother. Meanwhile, the guy 30 meters away aims down sight, pulls the trigger, and I drop like a sack of potatoes. I mean, one being point blank into the torso kind of seems like it would be a little bit more lethal. So the damage inconsistency is there. And that's a bit of a con, but EA did say when they were dealing with some of the beta feedback, they said that they are going to nerf the shotgun because it was inconsistent. So they're at least listening to that. The gun accuracy is lackluster. Now, this is where we're going to have people saying, well, I didn't have any problems. Okay, let me tell you. You're talking to a guy that plays without aim assist. Okay? And I've played without aim assist in both Call of Duty and Battlefield. Turned them off in both games. Call of Duty is more accurate in terms of when I aim down sight and I pull the trigger, the chance that my rounds are going to go in that target area within reason will end up in that target area. Whereas on Battlefield, they'll end up in that target area, ... I hope. Now, as for the people out there that are like, oh, well, we have to do something about the cheaters and other things like that. Look, you want to know how you fix the whole cheating issue? You want to know? Remove aim assist from the game completely. Like, don't even indulge. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Just do not have aim assist. Take it away permanently. For everybody. Mouse, keyboard, controller, doesn't matter. Take it all away. Reason being, let's say you take away all the aim assists. Anybody at all that has that snap aim accuracy that goes straight to the torso, upper torso, or head is immediately cheating. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's how you fix it. You just don't tell anybody you've removed aim assist. Other people will be like, why did my accuracy get worse? Well, the aim assist isn't holding your hand and saying, okay, Timmy, we're going to help you aim toward their torso because for some reason you can't do it. And much like Timmy on South Park, he's like, Timmy. You know? That's what I'm saying. Take away aim assist completely. If aim assist was gone, the number of cheaters would be exponentially found out. Guaranteed. You'd be so easy to find him. It's like, oh my god, his aim just snapped right to my body. Sure did. And with aim assist being gone, how does that happen? Well, that leaves one option. You don't need some fanciful kernel level anti-cheat. You don't need some fanciful anti-cheating software. You don't need it. Just take off aim assist. Problem solved. 100% problem solved.
This is fantastic. I wish I had time to study this bizarre dimension.
Especially if they have something client side that reads the inputs. They'll know that the person didn't just somehow snap to the face. Well, I just sold that one without even IDing it. Probably should have ID'd it.
Yes?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they had a... Ooh. Call of Duty has stated how they managed to do the kill cam, right? They say, well, we record the inputs of the game. This is how they're able to go through the entire game on each player and be able to view the game in spectator mode. Because it records the inputs of how you played on your controller or mouse and keyboard. And the funny thing is, if they can record the inputs like that and keep that stored, then Battlefield should be able to do the same. And if things don't add up, well, there's your problem. Of course, people would say, oh, I don't like that. Well, that's an oddly specific thing to say. The only people that wouldn't like that system are people that are trying to game the system. Now, here's the funny part. My brother was telling me how many actual games ran a kernel level anti-cheat. Helldivers was one of them. He went down through a list of like 4 or 5. Certain Blizzard products were one of them. So basically, he was just saying, you've already had kernel level anti-cheat on your PC. You know, what's one more? While I get what he was saying, I still don't like the idea of it. I still don't like the premise of it. Wow, he died quick. Summoner died real quick.
Good day. How do I know? Horizon.
It is an honor to serve you.
I love Lysander. In fact, he's almost deaf, so even better. Oh, now that felt good. It's not cleared out. It felt good. LF. Pardon me. There. So it was going to be a very loud one. And it didn't keep it away for very long, did it? Well, we're going to go take a look. Somebody's got a bow or something that gives me... Yep, there's the amplify damage. Oh. Grand Scepters. Well, they'll sell for a few grand. Oh, that was a terrible joke. I gotta stop doing those. Or do more of it. These might actually work. Ooh. It's a definite possibility. They seem to be working rather well right now. Oh, that's bad. That's a bad place to be. That was a very bad place to be. See, that's the thing about one of these challenges. The challenge here comes in positioning. I have to position myself in such a way that I'm not taking the damage. And it's like one false move and I'm toast. Chaos Head the Jagged, huh? See, getting in the door like that's easy. It's what you do after. It's what you do after you're in the door that matters. I'm gonna have to buy a wand with something on it. I'm gonna have to definitely check the wand sales. Because if I can find a wand with like Iron Maiden or something of the sort, I can make up lost ground when it comes to not having enough damage. That's the idea. It is until Nightmare when everybody's going to be like, ah, yes, go for dim vision. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, they'll probably say that. I get only 8 skeletons and they only have a maximum of 199 life. This is just as actually, this is easier than when I did it with ravens on my druid. Ravens on my druid took me a long time to get out of normal. But once I got out of normal, forget it. It became super easy after I got out of normal. Because then I had wolves that would hold the front line for me. And then I had, the ravens that are doing the damage. It got to be infinitely easier. This one's going to be, I think, more challenging because I'm not the one choosing the talents. The audience chose the talents. So, and when I get to Nightmare, they're going to choose the talent again.
I am overburdened.
And it's just a matter of getting to Nightmare. I'm almost at an hour long.
Good to see you.
Greetings.
Can I get a weapon? Not from him. Maybe from Elzix? Ragnan? Ragnan might have a wand.
Allow me to advise you.
What go? Bonewall, Weekend, Iron Maiden, Skeleton Mastery, Terror. Good Iron Maiden. I'll grab that. This should make it quite a bit easier. these times I'm going to try to do a complete Iron Maiden build. Then again, I remember the days when Blood Golem Iron Maiden was a thing. Those were the days back then. It was so broken. You just throw up an Iron Maiden, you throw up a Blood Golem, and then you put Iron Maiden on it. Blood Golem said whenever it dealt damage, you gain that much life, essentially. You gain life for the damage it dealt. Iron Maiden said return the damage dealt to the attacker. So when they would swing and they'd hit you, or they'd swing and they'd hit your golem, that was dealt. They were saying that Iron Maiden wasn't dealing the damage, but rather the golem was dealing the damage. And as such, the golem was healing. We're gonna try it. If I die, I die. Ouch. Nope. No. Not today, dirtbag. Aha. I hate being a portal jockey, but if I'm gonna do this,
I bet you.
I love how that's the voice of Arcturus Manx.
I need mana.
Wait, are you kidding me? I already lost one of them? I'm gonna get down there, I gotta throw in an Iron Maiden on them, and almost dead. I need to be resourceful.
I need mana. Not enough mana.
Resourceful gimmicky win is a win. Most people don't like to think that, but
I need mana.
Think of it like Among Us. All right. And let's say you do a sabotage win. You do a sabotage win, does your team, you as the imposters, do you love getting a sabotage win? Absolutely. You as the crewmates, do you love the fact that they got a sabotage win? No. It's gimmicky and terrible, but it works. It's resourceful. That's the thing. That's something that this teaches, I think.
Hello.
Any sort of one talent challenge or limitations imposed upon by self teaches resourcefulness.
I can't carry anymore. I can't carry anymore.
And with that, Act 2 is finished. Yeah, it was gimmicky. But at the same time,
I came too late. Now, this
You.
the art.
This. Good day.
we're still there. We still got what we need. That's a good rest. Keep that wand though. All I need is an F rune,
Good day.
and I can make stealth. Stealth rune word. But it's gone, isn't it?
Hello.
Could have kept it. Oh well.
Greeting, Gerund. Good day.
We made it to Act 3. With some
Good day. Welcome.
with a little bit of cunning and some fast thinking and some resourcefulness, we made it. I'm going to switch out for the Act 3 mercenary.
Hello.
Enchant. Ooh, we'll get Ajid.
I'll put that to good use. I can't use that.
Can't use that, but you can use swords.
Greetings.
He also needs a helmet.
I can't use that yet.
Can't use that yet because you don't have enough strength and dexterity. Or strength. You need one level. Oh well. Okay, we'll sell that. We'll get that one. That's 3 swords now spent.
I'll put that to good use.
Anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. And I'm hoping to be back up to full steam soon. I'm going to record some other stuff here in the near future. I might actually do a Battlefield 2042 video to see how well it aged, to see if it aged like milk. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching the video. I hope everybody has a fantastic evening, a wonderful tomorrow, and as always, have a good one.